behaviors, and these are definitely termed as ragging. And very strict. See, you lose your career. Very, very strict action has to be taken. If the action is not taken, then severe punishment will be given to the authority itself. So we have to go according to the rules and the guidelines by the Dental Council of India as well as by the UGC. I have already explained, I will not go into the details. Prevent the disturb regular academic activity of the student. I have already, that is their academic activities is totally disrupted because of helping or because of fear saying no to their seniors. So they'll end up doing all this, their work, and that disturbs the regular academic activities of the particular students of the way of welcoming. Welcome. It's showing welcome, but this is the right way of welcoming. This is not the right way. So these are all ragging. Economic ragging. Suppose a students, you have to, for completion of a quota or whatever, he'll not spend the money. He'll ask the juniors, get this book for me. But at the same solo we can't do anything. We need definitely help. But you need a copy, extra copy. But you say that you go and buy this and you don't return the money. That is finance. Those are extorted. So these are termed as ragging, which you cannot do. Or in case if you are loaded with work, then you finish this work in time. Can you get this copy from me? Please take this money and you place it by. But if you order them, you get this copy without giving them money, okay, they will buy. But if you don't return in time and they get extorted, they have the feeling of extortion. So those are all ragging. Realities which is happening in all the educational institutions, which has landed up for them to lead to the psychological aspect, having a mental problem, psychological problem, because they and immediately the institutional head should take from appropriate action on this aspect. Because the mentally, some are extrovert, some are introvert, some may not tell, because the psychological pressure will be accumulated day by day. The cumulative effect will be very deleterious to their mind. So they can't explode. They think if I say, something will happen. So please don't do this. Any problem, any trouble, please come to your mentors. If you are loaded with extreme financial extortions or forceful expenditures, repeatedly have a timely solutions so that nothing untoward happens in the later phases. This should not be done. This is not the right way. This is all happening, which the pictures have been placed for you to understand and interpret exactly what is ragging. Physically, you cannot abuse. Sexually, you cannot abuse. Stripping, bodily harm and danger to health, criminal dimensions. It carries a criminal dimensions. So you will be caught under the criminal act and the consequences. I need not explain what will happen, the legal aspect of it. This is not the right. The physical abuse. Can a person, leave about the students, can a person survive in this type of environment? No. Can a person survive? I am not talking about the students. Will it be conducive? It's not a conducive environment. So people will not survive in such type of environment. It's repeated actions. Some of the paper clipping. No to ragging. This is also not the right way of interacting with the freshers. Psychological ragging. Very abusive words. Some of the students, seniors, maybe your juniors who had just joined, they have got a habit of everywhere using slang words, abusive words while interacting with their classmates as well as the seniors. You cannot do. It is an insult to them publicly if you tell all these abusive words. Then some derive this perverted pleasure. They have the pleasure. There is a psychological, different, very negative psychological aspect of an individual. They get some pleasure by saying such type of slang words or abusive words to anybody. So you have to refine yourself that these are not the right perspective to live in a society, to live in an organization, to sustain in an organization with such type of abusive words. These are some habits. Please stop this habit. And for that you have to control yourself. You have to control your mind. You have to you should try to explain yourself. No, I am working and I am pursuing my studies in a very decent environment, so I should stop or refrain myself from abusing or using such type of words, because some people have this habit. Students, seniors, juniors, many people in the society, they have got a habit of using this type of slang words which give them a pleasure. These are the habits they have inculcated since their childhood or whatever is it, maybe acquired in whatever environment they have been brought up or working. I don't know exactly, I don't want to specify the reason, but whatever is the reason, please realize that these are the negative words or abusive words or some insulting words which cannot be used. They may have some perverted pleasure by using or making the habit they have. Sometimes any act that affects the mental, that will lose the mental health and as well as the self-confidence. So you should remain or refrain from doing such type of activities which can be termed as a psychological ragging. This college I have gone. This college I have gone for an inquiry, and you just see juniors at dental college forced to urinate in pants, 4 seniors booked. This college myself I was there, and is a fact. It is a fact. How traumatized they will be to urinate in the pant. Just read, is in Navi Mumbai. Mumbai, the city. It is happening there. It has happened. And we had to, the inquiry officers also have a difficult time to furnish the report. And what are the action taken by the authority. This college also I went, calling student Chashmish Kallu. Oi Kallu. If you call the person of dark complexion like this, it's insult to him. Everybody, we are coming from different ethnic groups. Racial variations is there. So color and complexion might vary. Why will insult? Respect the inner human that he or she possesses. People's identity is not reflected through the color, the complexions. I think you know, isn't it? You should try to take out the inner self, which is the mirror of that particular human being. The inner thing you have to take it out. That reflects the identity of that particular person, not by their color or complexions. So facing all these things, physical, psychological, mental, all these traumatic, this leads to a person which is affecting their mental health. He or she comes to class, he will have the fear of not going to the college. He will sit somewhere else. He will sit like this. Ultimately, when this repeated traumatic affects his brain, either he will come to a conclusion, either I leave the course, cannot leave the course because he or she is staying far away from their parents. Their future is at stake. So they are in a big state of dilemma, what to do exactly. They sit there. So ultimately, if you can cope up, if you are strong enough to explain yourself. No, I have to cope up this situation. I have to come and complain to the authority. I need some help. If they don't come up, they will say, if I go to the authority, they will, or the seniors or whoever is it, resorting to such type of activities might traumatize me more. So they have a very delicate state of mind to take a decision. So ultimately, they will leave the course. They will go back to their parents. The parents will also have a tough time. If they can't go back to their parents, they will be absconding from their places. They will go somewhere. And when the mental state goes down and down and down, ultimately what? They will commit suicide. They will end their life. Can this happen? Every human being has got the right to live happily in this world. We want to live as long. We are in this world for a few years. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So let us live, then let the world live happily. Why this situation has arisen? So the ball is in your court now. How to make your college, how to be compatible with each others, how can we live a lifelong friends forever? It cannot be, your friends cannot be your only classmate. Friends can be your seniors also. Friends can be very much juniors also. So those interactions with very seniors and very juniors will help to have a stable state of mind, because you will get experience, you will get inspired from the senior people who have crossed half of their life, and they will share their experiences, which will be a positive repercussion on your mind that these are the things, sir, or whatever is it, big brothers have told us. Let me take this. They are living happily, so let me acquire this habit. These are acquired habits by interacting or by staying with some seniors. I have got very junior friends also. My life I'm telling. I have got very senior friends also. Those are in 80s, 90s I have. So I want to live happily. So same thing, I want to live happily and to my full satisfaction. At the end of the day, whatever you work, you have to be satisfied. Oh, I have done my work very nicely. I am satisfied. So just pray to God that you have sailed without any difficulty the whole day and come with the satisfactions. Because I think all of your parents calls up in the evening. Yes or no? What you did? Any problem? Am I right? Yes? We are working, we are staying far, even though you're old enough now, but still then, our parents, our mother or father calls up, how was your day? So when did we say our day was very happily passed, successful, so they also feel very happy, isn't it? My son and daughter, whoever is it, in whatever position they are highly satisfied. So satisfaction to your seniors, satisfaction to yourself. Self-satisfaction is very important, and by being self-satisfied, you are, till that moment, you are a very successful person, and you are set through these activities of yours, you are making your parents happy. Yes? Please always make your parents happy. They are toiling hard to make you a successful man in all aspects of your life. So that should be the priority of your life. And the person who is guiding you throughout from your children, toddler, they are also your teachers. Every human being, you learn from each other, they are also your teacher. Life is never ending, never learning is ending. So don't let anybody come to this stage of mind. Please take it very seriously, and how deleterious effect it will have on the state of the mind. And this is happening now, and is the hard realities. Is a very common thing that we are being noticing when we are going for inquiry on this menace of ragging. So we can just summarize from the earlier slides that we have to stop ragging and make the place or workplace a better place, free of ragging, or ragging free campus where we can live happily and healthily. Healthily means healthy state of mind. If a mental state of mind is healthy, then it reflects in your physical health. If your mental is sick, it reflects. Because when you're mentally sick, you'll not have your food properly, you will not interact with her properly. So ultimately it reflects on your physical health, which you should be taken care with utmost sincerity and seriously. Social ragging, pointing at caste. People are coming from various castes, religion, race, complexion and physique. So you should not criticize them in this aspect at all. These are all ragging. Gender bias, you cannot. Transgender bias, you cannot. It reflects, it harms the human right. Every people have the right to live the way they wish to live. So that affects the human rights. Fundamental right. We have got a fundamental right to live the way we want to, we wish to, in a healthy environment. So these overall respects the human dignity. We have got all human dignity, self-respect, self-esteem. We should respect those. So these are all some of the papers. Some are in Hindi, some are in English. This college I went, Lucknow, Chhattisgarh. These are all not to be done. Political ragging. These are a different aspect of ragging which I am explaining. Preventing democratic representation of students in institutional governance and decision making. These are all political ragging which should be taken into care very seriously, and you have to think the consequences of these type of political ragging. Social media. Some people humiliate. This is because people are very active in the social media nowadays. So please be careful. Like sending SMS, MMS, emails, defaming in social media. There are people also. It's very common nowadays. And the consequences will be very grim and grave. So explain the ragging. Now I'll come to the punishable ingredients. All clear now? Yes? The impact, the consequences, the definitions, how every aspect, activities can be defined as ragging. Am I clear to all of you?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Now I am coming to the punishable ingredients of ragging. Offenses following from the definition of ragging: abetment to ragging, criminal conspiracy. There's where people conspire to rag, they accumulate in groups and they conspire to rag. Unlawful assembly, rioting. There should not be any assembly like this with the intention of ragging. Rioting like this while ragging. Public nuisance created during ragging. Violation of decency and morals through ragging. Causing physical harm, hurt and grievous injury. These are the punishable offenses which has been created by these activities of ragging. Wrongful restraint. You cannot restrain anybody. Wrongful confinement. Yes, some confine them inside the room and they lock it. They can't go in, neither to the toilet, neither to anywhere. Yes, they confine. These are all ragging. Use of criminal force, sexual assault, extortion, criminal trespass, offense against property, criminal intimidations, physical and psychological humiliations. These are a punishable offense where the authority or the guideline says some actions needs to be taken, which is punishable to the person who has adopted this negative aspect that is called the ragging. These are the punishable offense where the authority has to take strict and stern actions. Now, how the institution provision of ragging, what they have to do? The institution strictly observe the provision of act as per the central or state government. Regulatory body, curbing that is the our regulatory body as on date. NDC is still to come, but till that we are following the Dental Council of India regulation 2009, which I have already told you in my initial slide presentation. the institution, regulatory body have to follow the rules. Ragging in all forms should be totally banned in the entire institutions. Institutions should be very active, like the anti-ragging squad right now, as well as the anti-ragging committee has to be very vigilant, give a round in and around the hostel, as well as also during the college hours. They have to take track of the things that should not happen, and accordingly inform and discussion with the chairman of the anti-ragging squad, as well as brief to the anti-ragging committee, who will sit with the head of the institution. If anything has been noticed, action will be taken later. If anything is noticed, strict action has to be taken or initiated. Ragging in all forms should be totally banned in the entire institution. Institutions still take start and action against whom they found to be guilty. This is the way one of the clipping, my senior DCI member, who was the earlier chairman. He was the one who is the one person who has formulated the member.